Hello, everyone. Welcome to this second day of our beloved symposium from the Cathedra Chair UNESCO. We are pleased to enter this second day with a lot of enthusiasm. My name is Julie Bergeron. I'm a professor at Université du Québec in Outaouais. I work with Paul and Gina since the beginning of their chair, and I can tell you that they are having a blast in Korea, and they are working really hard. And here the team in Montreal is also working hard, but really having a blast too. So without further ado, today I'm going to share with you the progress that we made and what is coming up for the rest of the day. So welcome, bienvenue à tout le monde, bienvenido a todo el mundo. Modu hanyamabida, and we are really pleased with all the great sessions that we had yesterday as a first day. And let me tell you that this platform that we have is such an opportunity for everyone. And if you missed some sessions yesterday, it's okay. You can see some of them on Facebook Live in the Decimate Facebook page, but you'll be able to see them on YouTube in a few days, maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow. So we know that we have access to 50 sessions and 40 of them are online. More than 35 countries are involved in this big project. It is always free to attend and free to watch afterwards on YouTube. And I want to remind you that it's always possible to express yourselves if you are presenting, for sure, but also if you are listening or participating in different sessions, you always have a moment at the end of the session to ask your questions or share your views on the information that were displayed to you. And it's always in a respectful context. So, and I was a witness for our first day on how much people are caring for each other and they recognize the work that is done. And that's what we like, because we want it to be fruitful and fertile. So the first day summary, here you can see the team in Korea and the team in Montreal. I put an example of one of the live session that they had in Korea. All the sessions are very passionate about their subject, the presenters. They are passionate. The expression of the values are always there. We saw always that they are shared concern and shared vision and new vision also. We seek optimistic outcome, but we saw that the presentation are really rigorous, scientifically rigorous on the facts, on the data, but we always see, as I was saying, a big caring for all the ways that the people, the presenter, give their heart and the participant are receiving and caring and sharing the situation. So the first day we had 33 countries in attendance, and most people were from Canada and Korea for sure. We had USA, a lot of people from Mexico, the Philippines, Argentina, Spain, Peru, and a lot more. And we had one person from Comoros in Africa. So I thought that was a funny fact to tell you. So blessed that we all have you yesterday. So I can't wait to see how many people are going to attend today. I remind you that you have your keynote speaker. You already can see their presentation for the first 3 ones. We had Mr. Kwan on the first night right after the introduction ceremony. We also had Gina, or a passionate Gina, who did her presentation too on the first night in Korea. Last night it was Paul's turn, so you should be able to watch it on the media platform. And tonight, I'm speaking for me tonight because I'm in Montreal, so we have like two schedule, but it will happen for us tonight, but in the day in Korea for Mr. Park. So today the theme is transformative education, éducation transformatoire, or educación transformadora. This theme is my team in such ways that I'm a professor in educational sciences, and I work to be able to transform lives. And I want to share with you some stories of how I teach, but how I learn, because education is a lifelong process. We transform each other in the interaction, and I think that we grow and we are able to see the world differently because of our interactions. So I have some questions for you today, as I did yesterday, and I hope that yesterday you did find some answers. And today we want to know, where can transformative education can take place? Is it only in classrooms? I don't think so. I think that we learn everywhere. We learn in every situation. Every interaction with someone, with something, is an opportunity to learn and to transform ourselves. How should and could it be planned and structured? Of course, we learn not always on a structural basis. It's not always formal. We learn in informal settings. But if you have a position of power in the learning system, how should you plan it? How should you structure it? What should you think before your session? How can we avoid educational past mistakes? We did wrong in the past. We still do wrong sometimes, because afterwards we realize that the learners were not getting the objective, or were not learning. So we have to learn from past mistakes. And the last question is, how can transformative education be compatible with and promoting peace, culture, and social justice? Because we know that cultural reference that we have are shared in educational settings. We learn formally and informally by what we see, what we feel, what we hear. So cultural is a big vector of knowledge and learning. So today you're going to have a few sessions about that for sure. Some of the sessions were pinpoint on Facebook yesterday. We're going to talk a lot about the new era, the digital era, which gives learning opportunities for the kids, the adults. And I think there's a lot of positive in that, because it democratizes the access to learning in a different way, in a different settings. It's less expensive, it's easier, but it has some downfall for sure, in the aspect that you can learn something that is false, because it's not always rigorously screened before you can access it. And also it can lead to radicalization and I mean, disrespect on the individual and the differences. So we have to be critical when we enter a numeric space. So some of the presentations today are going to talk about it, and I encourage you to watch them and think about it. If you haven't registered to the sessions that you would like to attend, you go to the Eventbrite registration. I mentioned yesterday that you need to to have grit to participate, because there are 2 steps. And we did this this process this year to protect the platform, to be sure that we won't have bombing on our sessions. So you can go to decimetesymposium.com and choose the session. You enter some information, you receive an email, and then in the email, you have a link that you click. And after that, you'll be able to enter the session Zoom. Yesterday, I did not share all of the session with you, but I realized that maybe this is a good way for you just to have a quick look at what's going on today. So the first 2 diapo that I have are about Montreal's sessions for today. And some are really interesting. Some of them already have like 50% that register, so some are going to be big sessions today. You also have a lot of sessions about education, critical media literacy, as I was saying. And one of the sessions that I don't want to miss for sure is the one at 4:30. It's in French for those who can understand it. Dialogue sur la nécessaire décolonialité de la paix. I have a dream, no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter. That's going to be a really interesting one. And so this last one is for a Seoul registration. Those really already happened. So you can see them on Facebook. You don't have to register to those ones, but you can go and see them. I know that the transformation in education approaches in Mongolia was really a session that had a lot of viewings. And also you have on that one the keynote speaking from Paul, which is hold on. The second one. What should we do? With Paul, we always have to think, what should we do? We are in a proactive mode. Okay, so for today, my little piece of art for you is cardooning from Donnelly, who is based in the United States. It's about living together and how one of my friend, a dear friend of mine, always tells me, Julie, remember that diversity is the spice of life. I totally agree with him. I even would say that diversity is the essence of humanity. So I go further. It's just not the spice that we love so much that we're eager to taste and to live. I think that it's our essence. We have to learn to live with the differences around us because it makes us stronger. It makes us holier. And I think that when you teach, if you're a teacher, a formal teacher, a professor, or someone that has a role of sharing and guiding in the learning process, you should know that what we think we are teaching is not necessarily what is learned from the person with us. And this is a piece that I always show to my students because it's a formal setting of a classroom. We see that the children, the learners are different, are boys, girls, and from different origins. And the teacher is explaining how peace should be in her view, but it is received differently from each one of them because they have their own paths, they have their own identities, they had different experiences, and their cultural reference are different. And this is a beauty. This is the beauty of life. And as a teacher, as a professor, as a mother, as a father, as a brother, as a human, we have to know that what we share, what we think we share, is not always perceived as what we intend to give. And if you know that, it puts down some barriers. It gives you the opportunity to be closer to the other, to the learner, and it gives you another perspective. And if you see that the message received is different, you can explain better. You can ask how it was perceived. And I think that the learning is always better because it stays open, it stays dynamic, and it gives access to the transformative states that we search to be more peaceful, to be more respectful, and have a better life. I have another piece of art today with you. At the beginning, I didn't mention that we want to recognize the Mohawk, even though I still do, as I told you yesterday, because we are here in Montreal on their non-ceded land. But I think that another way to recognize the situation and recognize their whole identity, their precious history, I think that a piece of art that speaks for itself is the one from Nadia Mir, which is she is an Algonquian member of the Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe First Nation. She lives in Montreal, and she is a prolific artist. And this is one of her pieces in early 2000. It's the Indian Act as a federal document that the government is using still to this day. It has had some amendment, but it was first written in 1876. And what she did, it's that she took the version of 1985 and she printed it. And what she did as a statement of reappropriation is to use the small bead, red and white. The white were for the letters and the red was for the space on the page, saying that that First Nation history should be written by the ones that lived it and not by a government itself. So this is a citation that we have that explain her work. Her work is a conceptual and visceral, which means a lot. They incite reflection as much as contemplation. Based on the encounter, her creative process solicits public participation to initiate a dialogue on identity, resilience, belonging, memory, desire, and loss. And as I told you yesterday and today, the sessions that you have are opportunities to learn on others' life, to learn on others' work so that our lives are enriched. And yesterday, I was in one of the sessions that impacted me a lot. It was so passionate. It was like that, so visceral, that it totally changed my perception on an issue, on a struggle. And I think that it will help me be a better person and a better participant in this work. And I hope that you get this calling too in this symposium today. And I really hope that you feel as inspired as I did. And we want to thank the partners for that, because without them, it would not have been possible to be as open, as safe in this environment, because technology is not free. So we want to thank them again for all they had given us. So thank you very much. I wish you have an amazing day today on your viewing. And I really hope that we see each other tomorrow for the big finale. Okay, have a nice day, guys.